Y'all, I'm Jerry, about to check out 10 WWE couples who cheated on their partner. This video is by WrestleMania. One in particular, I know everybody gonna say this, is when Lita cheated on Matt Hardy when they was in a relationship and had an affair with Edge while Matt was out from the road dealing with a knee injury. Lita was, just got into a storyline with Edge on TV, but Offset that was getting a little closer, and things kind of happened. They got to look even more closer and started talking, and they ultimately got involved with each other. And Matt kind of, just like any other man would, if he felt like his girl was being taken advantage of him, cheating on him and stuff like that, he blew up and kind of exposed the whole story in front of the fans, and ended up losing his job. But it turned into, he ultimately got rehired back, but it turned into one of the best storylines of 2005 and one of the best storylines of all time. So we about to hop into this video. Let's go.
It's not uncommon for pro wrestlers to end up dating. The nature of pro wrestling.
That's just one particular couple. There's 9 other more.
Spending most of their days together, and over time bonds are going to be formed.
Yeah,
this includes
that's just like high school. The WWE is kind of like high school because
numerous wrestlers have got together, but their relationship
all of them, they're around each other so much to the point where things are happening, and you get close to somebody and you see them so much, you start, they start looking good to you. You want to ask them out, and the relationship kind of builds from there.
Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new channel, WrestleMania Shorts. Number 10, Enzo Amore and Liv Morgan.
He bagged Liv.
In 2017, Liv Morgan lit social media on fire when she revealed in a tweet that Enzo Amore had been cheating on her with another woman.
That's crazy.
Already had a rotten reputation in WWE, and this certainly didn't do the former Cruiserweight champion any favors. In a tweet, Morgan stated, "Me knowing that I'm single and nobody cheated on me." Fans and fellow WWE talent were quick to comfort Morgan, and Morgan would eventually get the last laugh as she went on to become one of the top female stars in WWE, whilst Enzo would be released from his WWE contract in 2018.
Enzo had a lot of charisma though. I liked him at that time.
Chris Candido and Sonny began to date when Sonny was just 17 years old. According to Sonny, during a shoot interview, she was initially planning on becoming a doctor, but with Candido wanting to become a pro wrestler, this drastically changed her career trajectory. Sonny added, "We met in high school. The last month of
he just recently passed away, I think.
It was June 2nd, 1990. I was going to be
a doctor,
and he said I was going to be a wrestler. And I was like, okay, great. How is my life going to end up? So it all happened from there. We fell in love." Unfortunately, it's believed that Sonny was unfaithful towards Candido, and it's rumored that Sonny was romantically linked with legendary wrestler Shawn Michaels during the time that herself and Candido were married. Outside of HBK, it's been rumored for decades that Sonny was also linked with other stars such as Bret Hart and even ECW star Raven. Number 8, CM Punk and Lita. Before CM Punk found the love of his life in AJ Lee,
it's crazy how AJ used to look up to Lita.
However, according to
and they both dated CM Punk.
There was a crossover period between Punk and Lita breaking up and Punk dating AJ Lee. Popular Reddit user Mets Fans Forever, a notable verified WWE insider, claimed Punk was courting AJ while still dating Lita. Lita would be off somewhere else in the building and Punk would be talking to AJ. I thought it was kind of odd at the time. I think a lot went on when Lita would be sitting by herself and he was chatting with AJ.
Oh my god.
Down at the arena. What is weird about this particular romance is that AJ idolized
She was Lita's biggest fan. One of her biggest fans.
In a bizarre love triangle that nobody saw.
That's crazy.
Number 7, Jerry the King Lawler and the Cat. It was evident during the Attitude Era that Jerry the King Lawler was besotted by the Cat. So much so that Lawler walked out of WWE in 2001 when the Cat was fired out of sheer support for his dead wife. It then surfaced that the Cat had cheated on Lawler with someone from WWE Developmental, and the marriage quickly disintegrated. Whilst her
cheated,
affair, Lawler was able to mend his relationship with
he got
WWE.
his job back.
By the end of 2001, Lawler was back alongside Jim Ross, calling the in-ring action. Number 6, John Morrison and
Melina cheated with Batista, I think.
Rumors have circulated surrounding why John Morrison and Melina broke up, but it is believed that Melina began to date top star Batista while still dating Morrison. The issue was that Batista was one of the WWE's biggest stars, which ultimately made him untouchable, meaning that even though what he did was morally wrong, he would go unpunished. According to several reports,
He was making the
Vince
money.
McMahon completely gave up on Morrison ever being a big star in WWE due to his lack of action upon finding out about Melina's infidelity. According to Batista, during a 2007 interview with the Charleston Post-Courier, Morrison and Melina had already broken up when he began to date Melina. He knew everything from day one, from the day we started talking, explains Batista. That was one of the things that a lot of people didn't realize and didn't bother to ask. Melina and John weren't together anymore. He was always aware of what was going on, and she was very honest with him. They split up and moved apart, and we started dating each other. She still considers him her best friend in the world, but
they back cool
exactly
though.
What was going
he
on.
married to somebody else, and I don't think she's married.
Claims are up for discussion, and it's up to the likes of
they cool
Melina
again,
Morrison
so
to
it don't matter.
his bold statement. Number 5, Kevin Sullivan and Woman.
Woman started cheating with Chris Benoit.
Imitates art came true in 1997 during a storyline between Kevin Sullivan and Chris Benoit. In the storyline, which was taking place in WCW, Nancy, also known as Woman, would leave Sullivan in favor of Benoit. Sullivan and Nancy were legitimately married in real life, but Nancy ended up falling in love with Benoit and ultimately decided to leave Sullivan in favor of starting a romantic relationship with Benoit. Nancy and Benoit would later marry in late 2000, and Sullivan
y'all know what happened after
had a
that.
less than stellar relationship backstage. In a sign of true professionalism, Sullivan never let his dislike for Benoit show in his behavior towards him. And according to Benoit, Sullivan never took liberties with him in the ring, which highlighted what kind of a person he truly was. Sullivan would even book Benoit to win the WCW World title in a move that nobody saw coming. While some believe this was done to show that Sullivan could be unbiased as a booker in WCW, he justified his booking decision by stating that Benoit was simply the right person to win the gold.
That's what's up. Put your personal differences aside
and Mickie James.
and have Chris Benoit win the title, man. That's what's up.
That Kenny Dykstra and Mickie James were dating. However, this relationship ended
She cheated with John Cena.
Disaster, as Mickie began to have a romance with WWE's top guy, John Cena. WWE were never going to punish Cena for this, so it unfortunately fell on Dykstra, who was moved brands in order to be away from Cena and Mickie.
Damn.
And then he was eventually released. Dykstra held a ton of resentment towards Cena for many years, and most fans believe that this was completely justified. Thankfully, Dykstra's story ended up having a happy ending, as for the past few years he's been working as a producer for WWE in a role which he's received rave reviews for. Number 3,
People
Vince
change
McMahon
though,
and
man.
Linda McMahon. The stories related to Vince McMahon cheating on Linda McMahon began to surface in 2001. It was during an interview with Playboy magazine. McMahon outright declared that he had cheated on his wife, but Linda was fully aware of his conduct.
Damn.
Not necessarily faithful. I probably lied to myself, thinking she knew who I was when we got married, the wild guy, but I never ever threw anything in her face. I was discreet, and Linda never suffered from a lack of attention, physical or emotional. But one day she asked me point blank, "Are you having an affair with so-and-so?" And I've never lied to her.
Damn.
It was clear from this point onwards that the two were having an unusual and less than traditional relationship. This was furthered when in 2022 it surfaced that McMahon had paid numerous women a large amount of money to keep.
Why they showing the wrestlers, man? That don't mean he had an affair with the wrestlers. Look at my girl back there looking good, Sasha.
Side of WWE's management. Following these horrific stories circulating online, it was reported that Vince McMahon and Linda McMahon had been separated for some time, which was previously kept strictly under wraps. Number 2, Triple H and Chyna.
Triple H cheated with Stephanie McMahon.
Between 1996 to 2000, Triple H and Chyna were inseparable, and it looked like the two were going to spend the rest of their lives together. However, when Triple H entered into a storyline with Stephanie McMahon, the two bonded extremely quickly, and both the Game and McMahon fell in love, leading to Triple H leaving Chyna in favor of McMahon. During an interview with Howard Stern in 2002, the Game stated that whilst Chyna saw it as Triple H cheating on her, the Game didn't see it that way, as the relationship was naturally coming to an end during that time. There's a misconception of the way that things ended with us, but it was our relationship that had gone downhill. There's a period of time where we separated and things happen in between, and then you kind of part way, get back together, and it really wasn't a full-blown relationship at that time. And number 1,
Man, Hardy and Lita gotta be number 1.
When it surfaced that Lita had cheated
That's
on Matt Hardy
crazy.
in 2005, it became the talk of the wrestling world. However, when it then surfaced that Lita had cheated on Hardy with fellow WWE star and Hardy's close friend Edge, it changed everything. This story dominated the wrestling media and even hit mainstream news, as it was all anyone could talk about.
Yeah.
Lita and Edge began their affair whilst Hardy was on the injured list, resting at
crazy.
home, which certainly adds insult to injury.
That's like one of the first
When
internet
Hardy
scandals
discovered
in WWE.
infidelity, he blew up and took to the internet to air his grievances. WWE hastily decided to release
That
Hardy
damn near
as
probably is
his
the
behavior was
first internet
unprofessional.
scandal.
This naturally enraged the fan base, who were furious that WWE were punishing Hardy instead of Lita and Edge. Eventually, WWE brought Hardy back, and in an insane
Created one of the
choice,
best
they would
storylines.
incorporate their real-life affair into a storyline as Hardy began to feud with Edge and Lita. This became the biggest storyline in WWE.
I just don't like how they treated Lita as a slut. They called her a slut and kind of defamed her legacy before she retired the first time back in 2006. It's good that they brought her back a couple times and had her just do and have her perfect moment. But at the time when Lita was hot, red hot, and was in the company as women's champion and everything, they kind of degraded her character, man, as a woman. Called her out her name, a slut, a whore, all that. Had Crime Time giving out her clothes and stuff, throwing them in the crowd. So I really didn't agree with that. But overall, man, this is a great video, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.